Well, thank you. I'm glad it was good. Thank you, Rose. Exciting enough, dude. Ty, I when that Baron still, like, I was already getting pumped by a bunch of team fights, but that Baron still, I flip my shit. I flip my shit. Ty, if you can do me a favor, buddy, before you go eat, my in game. So you know how the scoreboard, the letters are white. Apparently they're showing up as gray on OBS. And I can see them as gray on OBS, but on my screen, they're white. And I don't know why. If you could Google or look at that. I hit up some of the other casters on the staffing channel. So hopefully I get an answer for you guys soon and figure out a way to resolve that, because I don't know how to fix that. Because it is white on my screen and it's gray for you guys. And I don't know why. Like the letters for like the CS and the KDA and all. So anyways, hopefully we can figure that one out. Let's get into the drafts here, guys. All right, I'm going to update these. We're going to have 2 no bans on the left side. The left side is Vandal, Nomad. The right side is Geynksters. I'm going to be updating the logos and stuff here right now. So take those off and... give me 1 second here. We'll get these updated for you guys. Because, you know, professional streamer, Kappa. Boom. God, I'm good, boys. And over here we have Geynksters. Just like me, I'm a true gangster. Kappa. All right.
No cure for fools.
All right, we'll just roll with that for now. It's fine. All right. The important thing is, let's look at these picks and bans. So we had 2 no bans on the left side. On the right side, Geynksters come out with the Orange ban right off the bat. I feel like that's slightly loud. It's loud on my ear. I don't know if it's loud on your guys' ear, but definitely loud on my ear. Hold on 1 second. Quiet sound. Let's turn this down just a bit. So they come out with the first pick, Orange ban. Pretty smart pick, because I know that Vandal Nomads, they do like to play Orange. A couple of their players do play Orange quite a bit. So pretty good ban there. Followed up with the Jax ban and the Galio ban. So with the Galio ban, that one's a little bit surprising. Galio is one of my favorite champions. I play him a lot personally, but not very meta right now, but still very, very dangerous with like the Camille and dive comps or J4 dive executions. You ult on top of them. Still very strong. And then with the 1 banned in the first round on the Vandal Nomad side, they did ban out the Yasuo. So we had a Garen pick on the right side, followed by a Janna, and then a Nocturne for Geynksters. And on the left side, we had the Kaisa pick, followed with the Graves pick and the Thresh pick. So Kaisa obviously still very, very strong in this meta. Garen, probably something that they really wanted to prioritize on the Geynksters. Maybe their top laner, that's one of his main champions. Because not normally a champion you see prioritized, but with this meta, it's really important to pick like what works for your team and what your team's strengths are. It's better to draft that rather than trying to counter pick or go for a specific thing. You're better off being on champions and stuff you're comfortable with more so than trying to come in with like a really specific strategy. So most likely going to be a Garen top lane. Most likely going to be Janna at support. I've seen some Janna mids. It's not the best thing. And then almost 90% of the time, you're going to see the Nocturne jungle. The Nocturne, very, very dangerous champion right now. One of the best junglers in the game right now. Just very, very deadly. On the left side, we have Kaisa, most likely going to be at the AD carry position. The Graves jungle. Graves, very strong duelist. Very good at contesting the scuttles in the river. Just very good jungler all around. And then the Thresh going to be at the support, most likely supporting the Kaisa. So Geynksters coming up with the Misfortune pick. Very, very, very wise pick, because I know they really enjoy the Misfortune on their AD carry. So, so we'll see how that goes. Misfortune, definitely depends if you go on the armor pin or if you kind of go crit build style. More than likely you're going to go the armor pin, but we'll see. There's the Ahri coming out for Vandal Nomad. Vandal Nomad did ban out Zed and Vlad. Vlad, a very popular pick and ban this meta. And then Victor and Orianna on the other side. Pretty sure the Victor was a target ban. I know that the Vandal Nomad, I'm pretty sure their mid laner does play Victor quite a bit. So most likely a target ban. But either way, they definitely wanted to choke out the mid lane picks to come back with the Rise. So... And then the Wowie, the one and only Tentacle Master Wowie comes out. So most likely going to be in a Wowie top lane, Ahri mid lane, Kai'Sa at the ADC, and Thresh at support, Graves jungle. We'll see here. The teams have a little bit of time here to trade picks around. On the for Geynksters, you're probably going to have Garen top, Nocturne jungle, Rise mid, Misfortune ADC, and Janna support, and it's already showing that way. But nothing flex, no crazy flex picks. Flex is very popular in the current meta where you pick a champion, for example, like Brand, who can you pick it, and you don't know if it's going AD carry, you don't know if it's going support, you don't know if it's going mid lane. Same thing with Aurelia. You don't know if it's going mid, if it's going AD carry, if it's going top. So... No flex shenanigans in this particular draft. Pretty strong, pretty even draft, I would say, for both sides. I think probably the two game-changing picks, in my opinion, are as far as like... So last game, I was really talking about the Olaf versus Jax. It was going to be a very critical matchup. For this particular game, I think the Kai'Sa, obviously, Kai'Sa is one of those champions. She does so much magic damage. She can go AD build. But Kai'Sa, even with the nerfs, just does so many damage to where when she comes online, she can literally like 1v9 games. So obviously, if the Kai'Sa gets ahead, Kai'Sa can definitely help bring her team victory for sure, as long as her teammates are there to kind of help her snowball. The Kai'Sa is definitely going to be a critical pick. On the Geynksters side, on the red side, I definitely think the Nocturne pick. Nocturne's one of those champions. He's kind of like an Evelyn, where with his ult up, once he gets 6 and he has his ult up, he just puts pressure on every lane without even having to show himself. You're just always so worried about the darkness coming in, the ult flying through, and him just flying across the map at you. So he puts so much just... pressure on every lane just by default, just by being on the Rift, assuming he's at least playing even or somewhat ahead. But like Evelyn, if he falls behind, not as scary, can end up being like almost a dead pick at that point, because like a Nocturne or Evelyn that falls behind, their purpose and their threat and their ability to assassinate and burst people and catch people off guard really just kind of goes out of the water, and then it kind of almost turns into a 5v4 at that point. So Kai'Sa for Vandal Nomads and Nocturne for Geynksters. I believe those are like two of the key picks, but all in all, I say a pretty even draft, both sides. Pretty standard for the most part. You got kind of more tankier bruisers top lane. Kind of the more standard junglers right now. Ahri, Rise, middle, pretty standard. The Misfortune is a slight surprise, but not anything too crazy. So 2 traditional marksmen at the AD carry position, and then Thresh and Janna, both classic supports. So, woo! God, I'm talking so fast. Wait, is there really? Oh... All right. Wait, so it's not just the letters, it's the whole thing? Well, RIP, I'm glad I'm testing this today and not on the mainstream Monday. All right. Give me 1 second, guys, here. I'm going to update these. I love Vandal's loading into the game right now. I'm just updating the logos for you guys. Geynksters. I like the G and K logo too. Very, very classic, very crisp and clean. All right, there's Geynksters. I'm trying to think what would be causing like a generic thing like that. We're just going to use abbreviations for this one because both their logos have their team name on it, thankfully. Does it have the sheen right now? I wonder if it's the overlay itself. Maybe I used a bad overlay. Angelus, terrible game. Whatever, Angelus. How you doing, man? Okay, so it looks okay here. It's when I get in. I wonder, I checked all the spectator cameras. I am new to the spectator cameras and all, so we'll see. So we got Team Vandal Nomad on the blue side. And then we got Team Geynksters on the right side. So for Team Vandal Nomad in the top lane, it's the captain on the Alawi, the one and only Chief Akuda. Now I got that Barracuda song stuck in my head. Dun, 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 dun. Anyways, playing jungler for Vandal Nomad on the Graves. Sergeant Kappa. No Kappa spam in this chat. We got Lay Potato Chip on the Ari. We got Tristan on the one and only super totally not OP Kaisa. And then we got Skyfios on his Thresh, the Deep Terror Thresh. So rocking the Guardian Mastery. I like that too. I respect that. The Alawi running the Klepto Mastery. So on the bottom side for Team Geynksters, we got Childori in the top lane on the Garen. We got Sad Panda main. Sad Pandas. Feels bad. We got Sad Panda main on the Nocturne. The Rune Mage on the Rise. The Pirate Rise. Yar. We got Gun Goddess Misfortune. The new Misfortune skin. That thing super expensive, but it's super dope. Very cool ass skin. That's Kasami 08 on the Misfortune. And then on the Janna, the one, the only. We had Z-Mags last game. Now we got Z-Wills on the Janna. So we get into the game here in just a second. So, oh, speaking of Z-Mags, I just even see him in here. What's up, Z? How you doing, buddy? It's good seeing you, man. I'm pretty good, Angelos. My throat's freaking dying, man. But besides that, I'm doing all right. So, oh, I just realized this is that was a you guys definitely had a one hell of a game last game, Z-Max. Oh man, dude, when you hit that smite still, or not the smite still, when you got the Baron still, dude, I flipped my shit. I was just saying too, I'm like, the one thing I was like, this next Baron fight, it's either gonna secure it for Fleet Street or it's gonna, you know, allow Frostwolves to get back into this game. And I'll be damned if you went flying in there for that steal. I was like, oh man, I lost it, dude. That was a crazy game. Really well played on both sides. Okay, so it's gotta be, it's the overlay.
30 seconds until minions.
It's gotta be the overlay. Hold on 1 second. No, it's not the overlay. I'm telling you, it's white on my screen. Maybe I'll just go to monitor capture. All right. Everyone's kind of out in the standard positions up and down the river, kind of watching the ward locations and for invades. So let me check the Discord real quick.
Have spawned.
1 second. Oh, shit. Fuck. I posted in the wrong channel earlier. Like, I'm gonna have to I need someone to, like, Google it. All right. Hopefully I get an answer. If not, I don't know. I don't know. All right. So we got the Garen and Wowie in the top lane. The Wowie's always a pain in the ass for any melee champion in the lane against, but Garen, you know, with his passive regen heal and all, he can, you know, he can hang in there for quite a bit. So this bot side, this Kai'Sa Thresh should have fairly decent control on the lane. Really just depends how aggressive this Janna plays. And as we say it, the Thresh, but it's kind of like the Nautilus last game. You should have the range advantage and the push and poke advantage, but the minute that you get too aggressive, that counter CC can definitely whoop up on you pretty hard. Even so far in the mid lane. And the top, he's Beyblading it. Garen hitting that Beyblade onto the Wowie. Once that Wowie gets a couple more levels under her belt, though, and those tentacles start getting on the ground, it is a pain in the ass lane to lane against. Here's where the Graves just such a great duelist. He can always fight in the rivers like that. Just a handful to deal with. Champions like Graves and Pantheon, they just give so many other junglers trouble, because if you try to duel them in the river to fight over these new reworked scuttle crabs, it's rough. And Graves just incredibly good in the 1v1s. So the Garen's starting to get poked out. He still has his potion, but he's going to have to really rely on his passive. He's going to have to avoid the tentacles from stopping his passive, which allows him to give him some really nice health regen. So on the bot side, this Kai'Sa, even though they're getting shoved in, the Kai'Sa is still CSing pretty well. So, which, you know, when you're on a Kai'Sa, that's all you want. You just want to get your farm. And a lot of people, they think of, because since she hyper carries so hard, everyone thinks like, oh, well, yeah, you just got to punish them, like kind of like a Vayne, get, you know, punish them hard early. But you got to be careful with Kai'Sa. You try to trade with her, like just go in, get a couple of your moves off. Say you're like you're a Lucian, and you dash in, get your passive off, get your double shot in, and then you back out. That Kai'Sa, she hits you with one auto and then throws her Q in your face. Chances are she's going to win out. Like, she usually goes even or wins out on those kind of trades. Like, her Q actually allows her to trade very, very well during the lane phase. So even though she doesn't have the greatest range in the world, she can still trade decently. Like, you can't just shove her and bully her around like you can on, like, against a Vayne. So 0 kills so far. Both teams playing reasonably safe. Really, the most action right now is going on between those two junglers. Nocturne just got his Gromp. We're calling back right now. The Graves can stay on the map a little bit longer. Graves just has great sustain in the jungle. Just because he's ranged and his shotgun blast, you know, they kind of knock back the mobs a little bit and kind of give an AoE effect. Graves just very good in this current meta. I mean, that's why he's one of the top junglers in the game right now. So, which is part of the reason why I personally don't really play jungle much anymore, even though it used to be one of my main roles. Is unfortunately, I feel like, you know, 3/4 of junglers feel obsolete. Like, you play like an Amumu or something into some of these other new junglers, it sucks. Like, it's hard. Like, they just feel obsolete, man. And then when you're going against like Warwicks and Graves and Kha'Zix and Pantheons and stuff like that game after game, and you're on like a Zac or something, just good luck trying to fight in the river or go anywhere near your river. The Rise got enough points now, so he can really wave clear very, very easily. So the Arya, she gets more points in her queue. You know, she can shove the waves back pretty quickly herself, but the Rise, now that he's got the Tear of the Goddess, I mean, he can just really just constantly shove in these lanes as much as he'd like to. So should be a good time for the Rune Mage going up against Potato Chip in the mid lane. We got Childori just Beyblading it real quick while he runs back. Kuda did not have to burn his teleport to get back to lane. He should get to the lane just in time to where he shouldn't miss out on much EXP. Actually, he won't miss out on any EXP. So really good timing there by the Wowie to back, knowing he can make it back in time without missing waves of experience, which is very, very critical, especially in this matchup where the more levels these guys get, the stronger they're going to be. We got the Nocturne. The Nocturne, he's just chilling, just waiting patiently. He'd been there for a while, too. I don't think it's going to be enough, though. Wow. This happens to me when I play jungle. This Nocturne's dead. He's dead. No, he autoed. Oh, I was about to say, he autoed the wrong guy. I'm like, why didn't you auto? Okay, I almost was like eating my own word there, but he autoed a minion instead of the, he probably misclicked instead of the Nocturne. Not a good, unfortunately for Panda. That happens to me all the time. Champions like Alawi and Vlad, you go in, they're low health, it's 2v1, you're like, oh yeah, we got this gank, easy. And then they literally just 2v1 you in your face. It's like the worst feeling in the world. So it happens to the best of us, so. Alawi, that's why I was saying earlier, she's just a handful to deal with in the top lane. I play a lot of Urgot, and champions like Alawi and Urgot and stuff, they're just very strong, and even in 2v1 situations. Just some great duelists. And, you know, Urgot with his W, Alawi with the tentacles and the ult and everything else. I mean, they can just turn a fight on low HP just like that. And he almost actually double killed. He could have probably double killed that fight if he wanted to. Ooh, the Janna gets caught out here. Misfortune having to flash. Very nice play by the Thresh, just to give him that little bit of extra distance for his 2 range carries to come in and go pew pew with the lasers and finish him off. So a quick 3-0 start. It all started, they fail a 2v1 gank top. Alawi ends up getting the counter kill on the Alawi. And then next thing you know, their jungler goes bot and takes his chance at a gank, and now they're up 3-0 and up to a 2.5k gold lead and securing the Ocean Drake. So great start here for team Vandal Nomad. And Ocean Drake, definitely a Drake you want. Like we were talking about the Infernals last game and how they're so important, especially the longer the game goes. Ocean Drakes are especially important in the early game because Ocean Drakes give you mana, extra regen, mana regen, health regen. And this early on in the laning phase, when you literally give every person in all 3 of your lanes extra regen, like that sustain goes, it goes such a long way. So getting an early Ocean Drake like that, it's just going to allow Team Vandal Nomad to snowball this lead that they've already created. I mean, they already have a lead. It's just going to really allow them to just keep the pedal on the gas and keep pushing at these guys. So, Ari's still doing pretty well in the mid lane. Roamed down to the bot side, got the kill and the assist, and is still up about 10 CS in the mid lane. Currently up at about... wow, almost 600 gold advantage right now in the mid lane for the Ahri over the Ryze. The Kai'Sa's up about 400 gold. The Thresh is up at about 300 gold. The Graves is well ahead, almost 600-700 gold above the Nocturne right now. And of course the Alawi is up. The biggest gap though, Alawi is up about 800 gold right now on the Garen with the 20 CS lead. So really just... I knew this was going to be a tough matchup for Garen because, like I said earlier, anytime you have to play a melee champion in the Wowie, it can be tough. So things are unfortunately only going to get worse. Nocturne using the ult, trying to create something in the bot lane, but unfortunately no kill there. The Misfortune finally is level 6 now, so maybe they were thinking they could team up the Nocturne ult with Bullet Time, Misfortune's ult, and maybe do something there, but... if anything, at least Nocturne realizes, like, hey, his lanes are in trouble. All 3 lanes are in trouble. He needs to, even if it's a failed gank attempt, even just any attempt will at least alleviate some of the pressure off these lanes. So, and there's not really much he can do topside. Because even if he comes topside right now, Alawi with the stopwatch, the phage, and the CDR, I mean, it would be hard for them to even 2v1 this Alawi right now. Like, look at the Garen. He's got 2 points in his E, and it tickles the Alawi. Just call him Tickle Me Elmo, basically. He's no longer known as Alawi. Woo! Garen just... That's when you know a champion's just super tanky by default, because he has no armor items. He has a little bit of health, but he has no armor, no MR, no resist at all. Garen hits him with a 4 or 5 point Q. How much is Garen? He's 5 point Q, and it literally does nothing to him. So that's definitely a feels bad right there. And if Garen can't create space, oh nice charm there by the Ahri onto the Rise. Hits him with the Q. Graves comes up with the ult, but the Rise is barely to shimmy just past it. I don't think that Graves ult hit, unfortunately. But still, enough to get him out of the lane. They can turn around now and probably take this mid lane. Because there's not much this Nocturne can do right now. The Nocturne's ult is still on cooldown. Plus, his ult's not that scary when you know exactly where he is. So they get that turret to about 2/3 or about third health. Alawi's got complete control on this top side. So Team Vandal Nomad able to extend that 2.5k goal lead to over 3k now. So slowly, just with the use of that Ocean Drake and the extra gold they had, just slowly taking their advantages they had already and just making those inches and turning them into miles. The Graves can quickly farm up his jungle creeps and then get right back into the river and then contesting positions. Smart play here by Geynksters to work together to Vision. They don't want the Janna just roam up the river by herself. They know they're at a disadvantage. They need to move as a unit right now. They cannot be running around getting caught out. And obviously, they're not giving up on vision control. They know how important the vision control is. So it's all these teams, all 4 teams we've seen tonight, you've really seen a big emphasis on vision control. So just like any other MOBA, Dota, League, anything else, vision and warding, very, very important factor. Because vision gives you positioning, it allows you to have the best strategy, and I mean, vision's everything. Vision allows you to know how to initiate fights and from where, and it's not that expensive to do, so buy it. The charm misses, and Rise can punish him, hitting Ahri with the full combo there. I don't know if he got the root off or not. I don't believe so. The Ahri's not running Cleanse or anything. The Ahri's just running Ignite. She rushed Luden's Echo. So just like the brand from last game for Team Frostwolves, just going straight into the Luden's Echo and Brown Boots, just already going to be doing some really good damage, good CDR, good mana. Just a very strong item all around. And we saw what the brand ults were able to do last game. I like what the Janna's doing here with the let me go back down here. I like what the Janna's doing here. So she's leveling her W and her E evenly. Most people just maxed her shield all the way. Depending on how the lane's going, she knows like she needs to help alleviate pressure in this lane. So it's smart sometimes. Like, you don't have to go the same build order every single time. But I like that she's doing this. It's helping her give more damage, keep the W on a lower cooldown, increasing the move speed slow. Really, it's just helping maintain the lane. Because ultimately in the lane, having extra shields help, but it doesn't help enough. This Rise is as good as dead. Unfortunately, he went up there to vision. Nice hook there. No dodge, unfortunately, by the Misfortune. Fights going on all over the place. The Misfortune was able to get out. Luckily, she was close enough to her tower. This Garen Beyblading it. Beyblading it on Tickle Me Elmo up here, who is now up to a 34 CS advantage. And almost over 1,000, 1k gold lead. So, and slowly that 3.3k advantage is now up to a 4.5k advantage almost. So just slowly increasing their lead. And like I said at the beginning of this game, here comes the Nocturne with the ult. But I don't know if it's going to be enough. This Ahri's pretty freaking strong. And he goes down again. So 2 ults so far for Nocturne. Both turn, you know, into basically disasters, unfortunately. So like I was saying at the beginning of the game, the two key players that I mentioned for each side, I was talking about the Nocturne and how he really needs to get ahead. And if he falls behind, it's just super feels bad, man. It's so hard at that point. Because for Team Vandal Nomad, they're going to keep pushing these lanes. Like, they're not concerned about the Nocturne ulting in. They're so strong right now and they're so far ahead that the Nocturne potential threat of an ult, it doesn't concern them at this point. And on the flip side, I was talking about this Kai'Sa and how strong this champion can become. And she's closing in on her Rage Blade. Like, she has three of the components for her Rage Blade. She's going to have that. And then we'll see if she goes in the Gnasher's Tooth afterwards. But even just the Rage Blade Gnasher Tooth spike, like, she's going to be doing out of control damage. And she's 40 CS up on the Misfortune. So this Ryze is hanging in there valiantly. He's absorbing a lot of pressure. So the Rune Mage definitely battling, doing his best to keep his team in this. Rift Herald goes down on the top side. Shelly's going down right here, unfortunately. But she did her job. So they reworked, for some of you guys that haven't seen some of the recent patch changes, they reworked the Rift Herald to where basically it used to be it was the more HP it had, it would charge in. The more HP it had, the more damage it would do to the turret. They reworked it now to where it can basically almost take 2 turrets by itself. It does a fixated amount each time it hits. And typically you can see Shelly take out 2 turrets now instead of 1 very, very easily. So it's very, very strong objective. Woo! That Graves, he said, Misfortune, you might have bullet time, but I got the damn bazooka, and just pops her in the face with that ult. It looked like Misfortune was about to try to turn around and use her ult, but her ult's still on cooldown, but Graves just smashes her. Now 3-0-2. The Graves already on his warrior, headed into it, already has his zeal. Let's see what he gets second item, but this Graves is also a very big damage stat. So you got the Kai'Sa with the Rage Blade, the Graves working on his second item. The Wowie got the Cleaver and has already got the Chainmail. So this Wowie with the Cleaver, not only is it going to give her health damage, but really the armor shred and the cooldown reduction. It's just a great, it's like Urgot. It's like getting a Cleaver on Urgot or Garen. It's just a big power spike for that champion. So this Alawi, the Garen sustaining, he has not died to this Alawi, which is very good on his part. But unfortunately with the Garen, you want to be able to win lane, you know, knock the towers down with your Q and start roaming to your team. But unfortunately he hasn't been able to this game. And the poor guy, he's been fought so hard this whole game to defend the top tower. But now with the full 5-man dive by Team Vandal Nomad, they're going to be able to secure this top turret. And with that, they are now at almost a 7K gold lead. So this Nocturne's kind of in trouble. Let's talk about, we talked about the Nocturne before the game. Let's talk about some win conditions. So obviously Team Vandal Nomad's in a very good spot right here. They have their carries coming online. They have the Kai'Sa. They're up 6-0. They have both Drakes. They have full control of the game right now. I think, honestly, for them to, their best hope right now, obviously getting the Misfortune, it would help quite a bit, but they're going to have to really hope this Ryze can do some serious work in this team fight and come up with some creative ways to get picks with his ult. Whether it's you realm warp into the Baron pit later on, if you can crawl back into the game, maybe still a Baron with the realm warp. I think if I'm me right now and I'm the Nocturne, I'm looking kind of at the Ryze right now as at least for the next 10-15 minutes to kind of keep us in this game. Obviously, you're going to need the Misfortune. She's your AD carry, but she doesn't scale anything like a Kai'Sa does. And with the way Misfortune works, I mean, once you get enough armor pin, it's nice, but I mean, she's going to need a lot of items before she can chunk into this Alawi's armor. So for me, if I need to funnel resources in the two champions, obviously the Misfortune and the Ryze, but I think he's been playing really well so far this game. The Rune Mage CSing well, absorbing a lot of pressure mid lane. And with his ult, they can make some plays. They can find some picks. They can sneak some objectives, and with his root and his damage and his ability to wave clear, he's definitely a key for Geynksters to get back in this game. The Ryze is going to have to come up big for them. And so for Team Vandal Nomad, they can just do what they're doing right now. They could 1-3-1. They can group as 5. Like, they have so many options. I imagine they're just going to have this Alawi split push, because honestly, Team Geynksters, I don't even know if they could 2v1 this Alawi right now. Because this Alawi's tanky. He's tanky now. He's got Merc Treads. He's got armor. He still has his stopwatch. So we'll see how we go. We're at the 22-minute mark now. So they're going to keep pushing out these waves. Vandal Nomad's going to keep pushing out these waves. And then hopefully, obviously, their eyes are on Baron. Because with Baron, that's going to be their next way of sieging very, very heavily. The Kaisa did go Rage Blade in the Gnasher's Tooth. So this Kaisa is actually a very does a lot of magic damage. Like a scary amount of magic damage. Even with just these 2 items. And then you have, luckily Graves is doing super well as well. So they still have a very strong AD threat. Between the Graves' damage, and you can't sleep on Alawi's damage. If Alawi gets enough AoE off, she hurts too. So I really like the damage synergy that Vandal Nomad has right here. The AP Kaisa, obviously very, very popular. Especially when you're starting to see so many things like Aurelia mid lane, you know, Yasuo's top mid lane. They're going to grab the 3rd Ocean Drake. That'll be the last Ocean Drake they can get. There'll be 4 Drakes in total, but there can only be 3 maximum. So there can only be up to 3 Ocean Drakes in a single game, or up to 3 Cloud Drakes. The Graves, ooh, trying to get that Nocturne. Unfortunately for the Nocturne, too. Uh-oh. Alawi, big ult by the Alawi. Forces the Rise to flash. Oh, and Ari comes in with the flank. This Garen's trying to get out of there. Everybody's just running for the hills. Woo. Tough, tough. That all started. The Graves chunking out the Nocturne. Then they chunk out the Rise. Then the flank comes in with the Alawi ult, and there's nothing you can do there. They should be able to Baron off of that. With 2 down, even with the smaller spawn timers, because they're only, you know, 24 minutes into the game, like, this is, I don't think they can contest this Baron right now. I don't think they have any way of contesting this Baron. Besides a Nocturne still, but they're already located the Nocturne. And this is really smart. This is something that, unfortunately, Fleet Street wasn't able to do last game, but their goal is to zone out the jungler. Smart play here. Good job by the Team Vandal Nomad. Good discipline there to back off the Baron. Because when Nocturne ults, everything goes dark. So they don't know. I mean, they know where he's at, but they don't know if the Garen's right over the wall. They don't know who's right over the wall, maybe looking to come in for a steal. As Garen pops his Q, able to get away. Thresh looking for a lantern. Oh, the flash hook! Skyfios. Calm the butcher, baby. He's hooking that piece of meat, baby. Nice flash hook there. Caught him just on the edge of that to clean up the Garen, and that's all they needed. They're just looking for 1 or 2 picks. The Garen, one of the stronger members right now on Team Geynksters. Yeah. So with the 10k gold lead, this should be a pretty easy Baron. They aren't zoning off the Nocturne like they did last time, but the Nocturne's back in the base. They have Geynksters full red side jungle warded up, so they know exactly where that the jungler's not nearby. Easy Baron. Ooh, late potato chip. Almost able to get the pick off there. So now with the Baron, the 9k gold lead, and able to recall, I mean, this is a scary, scary team right now. And the way that they've had the lead pretty much since the 5-minute mark, and they've just slowly increased their advantage as this game's gone on. So we'll see how things go. But although they've been playing it like a game of inches, they've taken their small advantages and just slowly increased those advantages consistently throughout this game, but without taking any risk by doing so. You saw their discipline to pop off the Baron. You've seen their discipline as far as rotating together to get these outer turrets. So I expect that you'll see the same thing. I think we'll see an Alawi split pushing at some point here. Probably going topside. Yeah, you're going to see this Alawi split pushing one way, and they're just going to poke and siege until they can knock down these inhib turrets. I mean, Vandal Nomad definitely showing the team chemistry and the synergy. And I don't know who specifically the shot caller is. I know Kuda's the captain, but I don't know exactly who their shot caller is. But the shot caller definitely doing a good job for Team Vandal Nomad. Now they're just looking for picks. When they all have that Baron buff, they're just licking their chops right now. Boop, boop. Oh, the Nocturne. He tries. He's like, rise, I can be your hero, baby. Nah, he can be your partner 6 feet under, unfortunately, my friend. Oh, and with that, all 3 core damage dealers, the Nocturne, the Rise, and the Misfortune, all going into the Fountain at the same time. All 3 0-3. Very tough game. Skyfio's just playing a killer Thresh this game. Just been on point. Potato Chip, very mechanically sound. Been very, very good on his taunts, his charms, his ult in and out. Just playing a very crisp Ahri. The Grave, Sergeant Kappa, just getting the job done around the river early game. So just a strong effort from every member of Team Vandal Nomad so far. So we got about a minute. We got an Infernal Drake coming up, which is really unfortunate. See, that's what I'm saying. So instead of split pushing, they're just going to take the even safer play. Just rotate as 5, take the turret, rotate to the next one. Like, they don't have to do anything greedy here. And they say, shut the hell up, Smoke. We want to ace these guys right now. The Baron buff about to come off Geynksters. And that was my bad then. I didn't even... The camera must have shifted away because I didn't even realize that the red team had the Baron buff. Omega Law. Procaster, by the way. That's why I'm a color commentator, not a play-by-play. But no, good job getting the Baron. At least buys him a little bit of time. But you can see, even with the Baron buff... Baron buff or not, even if you have the buff on your team and have the buff with your minions, if you're this far behind in gold, they're still just going to take your inhibs, even when you do have the Baron buff. So I'll have to be sure to go back and check the VOD later. I will check to see who got that Baron buff. So, like, rub-a-dub-dub, 2 mobs in a tub. Hell yeah, I'm going to steal that one. Thank you. So here's the Kaisa. The Kaisa coming up. What is she building the Seeker's Arm Guard into? Is that Zhonya's? I wonder if she's going for Zhonya's. I mean, it's not a bad idea. I mean, she does, even with just the 2-item core spike between the Rage Blade and the Gnasher's Tooth, still very, very strong. So we're at the 20, almost coming up on the 30-minute mark. With that Mountain Drake, it gives them bonus damage to towers and objectives like the Baron and all. So the Baron's just going to melt. These towers are going to melt. Misfortune using the ult. Dude, that Gun Goddess skin looks so cool on Misfortune. It's a very expensive skin, but like you can change the model and it has like, it's sort of like Elemental Lux where you can change her like water, fire, etc. You can do that with this skin. Ooh, Sergeant Kappa in trouble. He goes down. He gets overextended and goes down. The Nocturne tries to hit the back line, but he's just too underformed right now to do anything. This Alawi, the Alawi Tickle Me Elmo just running at their fountain, just doesn't give a shit. Kuda just being an absolute monster. And with that, they should be able, with the 14k gold lead and 2 members down on the side of Geynksters, I think that's going to be a wrap. You can see how much damage this Kais is doing. Actually, insane amount of damage coming out. With 3 inhibs down and the super minions coming in, they close it out. 30-minute game. Very crisp game. 14-1 victory to Team Vandal Nomad. So with that, Vandal Nomad, they will move up to 500 on the season. They'll move to, well, actually, no, they played at 7, I think. So, but they were 2-3 as far as I know. So they're at least 3-3. after this game. Unfortunately for Vandal Nomad, or for Geynksters, they were not able to get another victory here today. But there are some pluses. There's obviously some things that need to be worked on. I'm glad that they went with their comfort picks. Unfortunately, it just kind of snowballed out of control. It started with when you lose the 2v1 on your first gank top, and then Graves comes back and counter ganks and kills bottom. So like you lose the top lane fight, you lose the bottom lane fight, you lose the early game fight because Graves pushes you out of the river from the scuttle crab. Next thing you know, top and bottom are missing. The Rise was hanging in there versus the Ahri, but then all of a sudden the other lanes start collapsing in onto the Rise, and so he has people diving onto him. The Garen tries to hold out as long as he can, hadn't died. Then he had 5 people run up to his turret, so Team Vandal Nomad, very good communication, very good rotations, just played very much like a pro team, like in the LCS would. They get those small advantages, they play it smart, and they just rotate. Use the Wowie to split push some, and they just rotate and just slowly they consistently made that gold lead increase the longer the game went on. So I'll show you guys the score screen right quick. My throat is so far long gone. But congratulations, Team Vandal Nomad. Well played, guys. Very well done. And I'll tell you, coming as like primarily a support main, Skyfios just threshes it on point, man. I was impressed by a lot of them. Potato Chip played incredible. Kappa, Tristan, Kuda, the whole team played well, but man, nothing gets me more like excited than than when you see some sick support play, especially on a champion like Thresh. Very skillful. Let me show you guys the damage meters real quick. Wowie, man. She was just dishing out the damage pretty much all throughout the laning phase, and in all those team fights, when you get the Nocturne, the Rise, the Misfortune all kind of clumped up on one another, and the Garen, that AoE from the ults and the tentacles and everything else, she racks up the damage. So there are the damage meters. These are the gold. Let me show you the gold graph real quick if I can. I forgot where it is. It's on the web, isn't it? Or some shit. Anyways, you guys know the gold graph. It was probably just a consistent sloping mountain in advantage of Team Vandal Nomad. All right, let me see. Let me get some music going for you guys. Actually, let me see what's going on first. Hold on one second.